Good evening. It is it is November 29th at 6:30. We will open the meeting with our attendance, beginning with John.
John Brunza, mayoral appointee.
Brandy Brown, District 3.
Justin McGregor, Secretary, District 7.
Kenya Middleton, Mayor Appointee, Vice Chair.
Marianne Callahan, First District.
Jacob Kumpan, Council at Large.
Thank you. We will begin with our presentations. What we would like to have you do is give us a 5-minute presentation. Steve will be keeping time. We will allow 5 minutes for questions from the panel. And if we have other questions, we may be asking you later. Steve will send them to you and you can send us information. We're going to try to keep this. We have 10 presenters, so we're going to try to keep this as on time as we possibly can. So our first presenter is Literacy Volunteers. Are you here?
I think so.
Should we? Well, I was wondering if we should let our people from. Okay. Okay. Mothers and babies. And as you all know, you have to be very close to the microphone to have the microphone work. And we'll be saying that to you a lot when
And-
you're presenting.
And also push the button so that the light turns green.
Other than that, relax and have a great presentation.
Okay. Uh-oh. So hello, my name
You can
is,
push that down if you want, make it comfortable.
my name is Alicia Beekman. I am the Executive Director for Mothers and Babies Perinatal Network. I have been there 24 years. I'm the Executive Director for 6 weeks. So, we have a proposal for our Family Resource Center. So Mothers and Babies, our mission is to improve pregnancy and birth outcomes and to support the health and development of individuals and families. Our core program areas, we have perinatal services, where we have community health workers working with women of childbearing age and their families to connect to needed services and resources in the community, pregnancy support, and smoking cessation. We have youth services, which is where I spent most of my time. This is a teen pregnancy prevention focus, and we go into elementary, middle, and high schools, and we are the guest speaker to provide programs with comprehensive sexuality education and life skills. Another core component of our agency is health insurance. We have navigators assist us, individuals and families to enroll in the New York State marketplace for health insurance, help small businesses with their employees to enroll in the New York State small business marketplace. We also have community health advocate, can help people with any billing issues or any disputes with claims or other medical billing. And we have a health coach who helps connects all of our clients with any other additional services to the community, including SNAP and HEAP. And then we have our family resource centers. We have been a 25-year history serving high-need Binghamton families. We have been located at 457 State Street for the last 23 years. We moved this summer to Johnson City. So we are now, our agency is located on Grand Ave in Johnson City. Our Binghamton families came with us to our Binghamton Pale Center there. And we have been working since that move to come back to Binghamton. And we are moving into the old Shenanigans bar space at 67 Robinson Street. So that is hopefully happening Tuesday. So we've been remodeling with them. We're leasing that space. So we'll be moving there. The Family Resource Center has services available to any family in the community with young children, no income criteria required. We've had some partial funding from DSS for supervised visitation. That funding is ending at the end of this month. At the end of December, because that model is changing. Supervised visits will be more focused in the home. We will still have supervised visits. We just won't be receiving funding for that. I said we were previously located at 457, so now we'll be at 67 Robinson Street. We're open 5 days a week. We include 1 to 2 evenings. And in those evenings, one of those is a dinner bell. So that's open to all community members. They can come and get a light dinner fare and see the center, and the children can play. The economic impact over the past few years has led to poverty and hardships. So our families are faced with a lot of negative conditions like substantial housing, homelessness, inadequate nutrition, food insecurity, et cetera. Our centers provide resilience and resilience training for managing challenges and bouncing back. We meet basic economic needs that is essential for a family to thrive. And we give accurate information about child development so that parents know where their children should be based on their age and their development, and provide support where needed. Our supports include healthy parent-child relationships and promote protective factors. We offer parent education, social support, mentoring, and recreational activities. Staff use a strength-based approach, recognizing individual strengths and potential. The clientele and support PAL is a very safe, welcoming space for parents and children facing multiple stressors. Many children at the PAL are in foster care. The parents may deal with mental health, addiction, domestic violence, and incarceration issues.
You have
So-
1 minute.
Thank you. PAL offers supervised visitation, credited with helping parents to regain custody. These visits will continue regardless of the DSS funding that is ending at the end of this year. Our PAL Center resources, we have parenting classes, one-on-one mentoring, social activities, and educational programs. Free resources include children's clothing closet, a play space, and the PAL dinner bell that I mentioned for families with limited food resources. For community engagement, we encourage community-based agencies to showcase services. We have OT come in with children they're working with. We have PT coming in. We have the supervised visits that we mentioned. We have grandparents. We used to do a kinship. We have grandparents tea. So we're just really open to this, to everybody who needs our space. We aim to serve an estimated 250 City of Binghamton residents, and we requested 20,000.
Thank you. Are there questions?
I had one. Hi. So, the 20,000 that you're requesting, what programs will it's gonna go exactly for all the programs that you just spoke about, or?
It's
is it
just going
something
to
in
the
particular?
Family Resource Center,
Okay.
just for that space, for the Binghamton space at 67 Robinson. And the majority of the funding is to cover the staffing.
Okay,
So we have 2 coordinators who will be staffing that center.
okay.
Any other questions? Congratulations
Thank you.
on your appointment, and thank you
Thank-
very much for your presentation and your patience.
Oh, thank you so
We
much.
appreciate
I
it.
have the packet here.
Fantastic.
Can I
Yes.
just leave that with you?
Yeah, you can
or
leave it
Steve?
over here with Steve, and Steve will make sure that we get it.
Okay.
Thank
so much.
you.
Thank you.
And welcome to the 7th District, by the way.
The 7th.
Our next presenters are Noma.
Why?
Why can't we look at you?
Why can't we look at you, Brandon? She's being bitchy. She's being bitchy. Being just keeping it real from Noma.
Look at the smile.
She's trying not to.
Not too close. I learned this last year. Good evening. Thanks for having us. My name is Bryce Reynolds. I'm the treasurer of the Noma Community Center. This is George Homsey. He is our board president, senior board president. We are a community center. We're located at 30 Main Street, Binghamton, New York, corner of Front and Main. We serve primarily, not primarily, we started serving primarily Census Tract 13 in the city of Binghamton. The west side, we've gotten a lot of guests from other areas. Some statistics on Census Tract 13. You have this in the application, but I just figured I'd reiterate them. The median family income of Census Tract 13 is $19,653. Versus the city of Binghamton is 51,257, and Broome County is 73,171. And the population below the poverty line of Census Tract 13, the Noma North of Main neighborhood, is 72.2, whereas the city of Binghamton it's 32%, and Broome County it's 20.8%, and that pretty much is consistent across childhood poverty rate and the unemployment rate. North of Main is essentially 3 times Broome County in poverty, childhood poverty, unemployment, and twice the city of Binghamton. Our objectives, we provide services, but our overarching goal is to give people a place to make connections, build social capital, and really become engaged and involved in their community. We just took on a new employee, Micah Ganung. Brandy Brown is our community center coordinator. We couldn't call him Brandy, so we had to hire someone else.
Hey, Brandy.
Next slide. So a lot of the stuff we get done, this presentation was very PowerPoint dependent and heavy and what have you. But a lot of the stuff we get done is due to volunteers. We have a lot of people coming through our doors. And a lot of the connections that are made, the engagement, the inclusion, it's not just among people coming for services. It is also among volunteers who are working together towards a common goal, regardless of their background, social class, race, ethnicity, anything like that. We have a lot of people working together in just to help people, essentially. We have a number of regular weekly services. We have a clothing and hygiene closet now. From what we're aware, we're one of the very few places that actually provides free hygiene products, which is a pretty big need. We also have a wearable art workshop series that we bring in local artists who show people how to upcycle clothing, make jewelry, that kind of stuff, and also explore the possibility of attendees turning that kind of skill set into a business. We also have Teacher Tuesdays, which we have a bunch of teachers from Horace Mann Elementary School doing an after-school engagement program. It's like our big thing is on Saturdays, we have a community meal, which we get our volunteers, our guests, people just looking for services. They come in, they work together. We have a lot of volunteers who also engage. They also take part in the community meal, working the kitchen, which is a really big, connection making thing. A lot of conversations take place, a lot of connections, a lot of people hook up and kind of just talk about stuff and learn new things.
You have a minute.
After our community meal, we have Binghamton Food Rescue come in with fresh produce, baked goods, and whatever else they have donated to them through local businesses or folks from the farmers market or bakers and what have you. Let's just skip this one. We also host a lot of events with community partners. CARES did a Black History Month poetry slam. It was incredibly well attended. United Way has done one of their community conversation series where they gather data from the community to kind of determine what their strategic plans are in coming years. We also hosted Tri-Cities Opera for a performance of Papagayo, and we had hot dogs. We provided hot dogs, popcorn, movie theater candy, and I was there and for the whole thing, and it was probably one of my favorite events. And finally, this month, actually, December, we have Santa's Workshop where children can shop for gifts for their parents and caregivers and have them wrapped while their parents and caregivers enjoy a pancake breakfast. And that is December 16th. You're all welcome to attend. So we are looking for support for salaries for our community coordinator, our center coordinator, our assistant coordinator, our Binghamton Food Rescue coordinator, as well as engaging a payroll service, supplies for our hygiene closet, community meals, and our wearable art series, as well as rent. There were a lot of pictures in this presentation of all the people who come through our doors, but there's a lot.
Thank
So-
you. Are there questions?
What was the amount you were asking for?
It was just shy of $91,000. And of course, all of our programs are they're scalable. It's all dependent on what kind of funding we can gather and receive, but we do a lot of stuff and we've done.
Actually, that precipitates a question I have. I noticed that the percentage of CDBG money that you're asking for the program is rather high. What happens if you do not get that?
Then we just have to scale back programs and services. Yeah, we do have other irons in the fire.
I'm sorry.
We're constantly looking for other grant opportunities.
No, we appreciate that. Thank you. Are there any other questions? Deb?
Good evening. Thank you very much for coming. Also concerned about the high salary. I would like to see more programming. If you were to have to choose between salaries and programming, what programming would you do and what are your other grant applications out at this time?
Our other grant applications are not officially out. We have United Way, which the letter of intent goes out on December 1st. As far as Community Foundation, CLE Foundation, we are looking into that. The application goes out. It opens up on was it January?
And all three of those funders have funded us in the past. So what we're really looking to do with this money and with the more money that we're asking for in these other places is to expand our programming. And part of that programming expansion requires, does require more salary time from the coordinators. There's not a lot of cost to our programs. There's supplies, but there's a lot of time that our coordinator and our assistant coordinator put in with different people.
I just wanted to add on to that. A lot of our programming is done by volunteers. For example, you'll see on the narrative, one of the things that I personally am developing, it's a pet project of boot camp. Whoa, stock market boot camp and investment competition. That's entirely on my time. And yeah, that's essentially the funding is for our coordinator, assistant coordinator, and a Binghamton Food Rescue coordinator to just kind of facilitate all of that stuff.
Deb?
Final follow-up. The other grants that you're going for, is that more for salary or programming with the other grant opportunities you mentioned?
Mostly for salary and operations. Programming is very minimal. We have a lot of very people who donate their time and their talents to us. We just need to keep the facility open to provide them a venue as well as other community organizations.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Triple Cities Makerspace. Yeah, and for the record, I would like to indicate that Deborah Hogan is here.
So I thought that there was going to be multimedia setup. So I had emotional videos that was going to explain a lot. So around on.
That's okay. And if you have anything that you want to give to Steve to send to us, that would be fine too.
Okay. Yep. So my name is Stephen Mushak, Executive Director of Triple Space, and this is our organization's only
Steve,
second.
can you put the,
Sure.
yeah, thank you.
And this is our organization's only second time applying for the block grant. I'd like to start with, well, I was going to start with introducing the makerspace, but first I'll start with the ask, what we're asking for, and I'll try and backfill the why. So STEAM for All is a program that would provide annual memberships into our organization, approximately 35 low-income families and individuals within Binghamton, providing access to the makerspace facilities and classes and using the equipments and materials we have to offer. TCMS provides a collaborative environment for individuals to access tools, equipment, and hands-on learning activities. The mission is to lower cost-prohibitive barriers, making STEAM education accessible to all. TCMS serves Broome County and surrounding areas, embracing underserved, marginalized communities like youth, unemployed, underemployed, veterans, and the special needs communities. The organization's location is within Census Tract 5, and the adjacent census tracts eliminates barriers to participation in other programs and aims to meet the growing trend of skills-based hiring among employers. Your support for STEAM for All would make a significant difference in the lives of these low-income families and individuals in Binghamton. Your contribution would help to ensure that everyone has access to tools and resources they need to succeed. We believe that by working together, we can create a more equitable and inclusive community that values diversity and promotes lifelong learning. This is a very lean proposal. If you support it, you get a twofer. You get to leverage what you're giving to us in that you get to provide access to our facilities to members of the community who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford it. And also that money will be able to go toward operational funding for our organization, which we desperately need. The pandemic had a delayed effect on our organization because we got funding right before the pandemic. So unfortunately, while we looked good on paper, we weren't able to take advantage of any of the tax relief or any other sort of credits that the government offered to organizations during the pandemic. So Full Cities Makerspace is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization. We have facilities downtown located next to Benedum's and across the street from Serafini's. And we just celebrated our 10th anniversary serving the community. We have a dual mission. Half is to go out into the community and promote STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math to children and adults, and especially to inspire those looking to enter into our high-tech workforce. We partner with schools, libraries, or have a presence at community events. As an example, with one partnering school, we created a Mars rover challenge. We created base rovers that the students could build upon and control with their phones. We created an elaborate Mars landscape and mission control completely separate from the landscape to provide a more realistic simulation. The students performed tasks like gathering rock samples, running tests, and navigating locations on the landscape. And we partnered with libraries to do robotics classes for children. We educate about additive manufacturing through 3D printers. I could go on and on. The other half of our mission is to lower the cost barrier to entry to every kind of creative resource that you can imagine. And again, I could go on and on. And while we've gathered what I consider to be a wide ranging of an impressive amount of tools, technology, and knowledge into a single location, the real value is our membership. We have membership from all walks of life with diverse backgrounds, from artists to engineers, members ranging in age from 5 years to well into their 80s. Professionals in their field. One of our members worked for NASA and literally put things into space. And to bookend that, one of our younger members led a group of university students attempting to become the first verified group of students trying to put things in space.
You have a minute.
It was a rocket. So as an organization, I understand that resources always seem to be limited, and priority rightly goes to programs that address the most immediate needs and the most vulnerable in our community: housing, nutrition. But as it turns out, there's more to life beyond just that. There's what we provide, and it's we try to build individuals up so that they can support themselves beyond those basic needs, and that they have something to look forward to. The makerspace in a lot of ways realizes the diverse melting pot. Members exchange knowledge, collaboration, share experiences with one another. And as a result, the overall group benefits from the diversity. My daughter, she has a genetic condition, medically fragile, terminal. And 2 of the students in our workforce training asked if they could say a prayer for her. And they were immigrants, a couple from Haiti, and they recited it in a song. And I had never quite seen anything like that. And our For All program, which caters, I hope you'll ask questions about our programming. Our Art for All programming, which has a large special needs component. The changes that has made in those that participate in that they have a socialization opportunity and that they're able to interact more socially and look forward to working on projects. It's another thing that I don't know where you can get all that in a single location, like what we offer. So you can wrap it up there, but please ask questions.
Thank you. Are there questions?
Yeah, I always have a question. I wanted to know the programs that you have. Essentially, you're basically trying to set people up with a skill and basically kind of bring them out of whatever they're going through. Am I correct?
So we have 2 programs. One is an advanced manufacturing training program. It's a 70-hour program. We also partner with Broome Tioga Workforce, and we do a smaller version of that program with them. And it's free to the participant. And the goal there is to take underemployed, unemployed, marginalized communities. We try to have up to 50.
Nice.
We want to get them employed in the advanced manufacturing sector. And it just doesn't benefit them. A lot of the manufacturing companies around here are desperate for employees, so it solves their pain problem too. So once they complete our programming, we do try to get them, we try to work with the companies and get them employed. The other program that I wanted to highlight is what we call the Art for All, which is kind of a take on the STEAM for All. The Art for All is, as it sounds, open to everybody. We try to use the same model that we have for technology aspects and open it up to artists, but there is a very large special needs component to it. One of our board members is a mother of special needs children, and she administers a support group for over 700 families in the Southern Tier. And she developed the program. She's been developing it since 2013. And really, the pandemic was especially hard on that community. They already had limited options for socialization and activities, places where they could go and feel welcome. Because of all the tools we have and all the knowledge, they never have to leave our facilities. There's endless amounts of projects that they can work on within our facilities. So the goal is to use this funding to bring in people who couldn't otherwise afford to participate in our overall facilities or the Art for All, or we're calling it STEAM for All for this, just to be able to bring them in, to have them have access to the resources we have, the equipment and the knowledge. I've seen many people who come to our organization just through networking have been able to find work or pick up new skills that help them to find work. So that's what this money would be going toward, bringing them in. And like I said, you get to leverage your funds, because not only do we get to bring them in directly, we also get to help with our operations, which, as I said, we should be self-sustaining again within a year and a half, and this will help us to get there.
Those things take time.
Yep.
Thank you.
John?
Thank you for coming.
Yep.
Do you currently have members on scholarship?
On scholar, you mean as like subsidized, like we're talking about here? Yep.
Yeah, yes. And so how do you measure the success of the scholarship program through their participation, or?
So for the bit of a larger project like this, our intent is to have a committee that actively seeks out the members that would be a good fit. And then we'll have like certain requirements that, you'll take a certain number of classes throughout the year, or, social interactions. So yeah, there would be criteria to being a good fit for the program. It's not just willy-nilly whoever, serve the first 35 that come through the door.
I have a question. I noticed in your application that you only listed what you're asking for CDBG funds. Can you give us the other funding sources that you may have?
Yes, the Community Foundation for South Central New York provided us with a grant for the upcoming year. The CLE Foundation will be deciding in December whether or not we had the ask from them. Tioga Downs unfortunately did not select us this time around. And we have several sponsorships that we'll be pursuing for lesser amounts.
If it wouldn't be a problem, could you provide that information to Steve so that he can give it to us? Because if we have the whole picture, a lot of times it helps us to decide as we're deliberating, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, no, there's no problem.
That would be
But
good. Okay.
Like I said, it would be, an essential. We're with this new programming, especially the special needs programming, it is wildly popular, and our projections are that within a year and a half, we'll be self-sustaining again. So this would be this opportunity, if you see fit to fund us, fits in perfectly with what we need, and to be able to get us to that point.
And the more information we have,
Yep,
the better
yeah,
we can decide. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Any other questions, Deb?
Just a quick question. With the family scholarships, could you just list a few of the projects that would be completed during the event time?
So you mean during their membership, what they might work on?
Yes.
I can give you some examples of what people have already worked on through the program. we've created these little electronic battle bots. They got a chance to do electronic solder, 3D print parts, and learn how it all worked and fit together. We do a lot of things on our laser cutter. I wish I had promotional videos, but it's called Cdac art. In this particular case, it's we laser cut. I don't know how to describe it. It's a tiger and it's all animated and it moves. So those are the kinds of projects they work on, from electronics to 3D printing. We actually have some of them making pens in our wood shop. One of them made a pen in our metal shop. So the classes, there's endless amounts of classes with the amount of, I didn't list the tools that we have, but we have a wood shop, we have a metal shop, we have 15 3D printers, laser cutter, kiln, all kinds of vinyl cutters, and can go on and on. So the amount of projects that they can work on is just literally endless. Yeah, I would, if there are no, I would invite you all, to come down and actually really need to see, make a decision. If you don't try something new, nothing is ever going to change. I'd really like for you to come down and take a look and see what it is so you can understand it.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next presenter is Vines.
Hi, Amelia. Feed,
Hey there.
feed. You can't hear?
Green light on.
Green light.
Ah, it got me to, oh, there we go. I'm Amelia LaDolce. I'm the executive director of Vines.
Hi, I'm Evelyn. I'm one of the youth at Vines.
All right. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of the program and then let Evelyn speak for a few moments about her experience with the program. So our Grow Binghamton Youth Employment Program is a unique, multifaceted program that meets several needs of our community at once, including youth development, food security, and urban revitalization. We hire 28 youth who are all low, moderate income. The majority are very low income. For our summer program, this includes 8 leadership positions. Evelyn has been in one of those positions. They work at our urban farm on Tudor Street for 6 weeks and help grow food for our community. The ability to create change in their community gives them a sense of belonging, drives a lot of growth, personal growth, helps set folks on paths that will create a more secure future for themselves in their future schooling, jobs, and life in general. We work very closely alongside our youth and really encourage our youth to take leadership or ownership over the program through their leadership roles. We incorporate youth feedback into the program every single year to continue improving it and address the changing needs of youth in our community. We teach a lot of hard skills around urban agriculture, but a lot of soft skills that support youth in whatever future is in front of them, including conflict resolution, effective communication, and emotional intelligence. We do a lot of trainings for folks based on the feedback we received. Like I said, we do resume writing, college prep work, and we work with Seed Financial Planning to do a 6-hour financial literacy workshop series for them over the course of the summer. During the fall, they're working with us to put the urban farm to bed in the fall and the spring, get it ready for the growing season, but they're also building raised beds and putting together portable garden bags for families so people can grow food safely at home. So they are doing a lot to support other community members in improving their food access and being able to grow their own food. We are excited to continue improving the program and expanding the opportunities for youth every single year and incorporating special things as as we can to really create a meaningful experience for youth every year. And this year they had the special opportunity to be a part of constructing our new office building, which was really special. We're always looking for new ways to expand the skill sets that they're developing every summer. So with that, I'll turn it over to Evelyn.
Hi. Throughout this program, I've experienced a lot of things, and it's not just my experiences that I like to look back on. It's the experiences that I see others experiencing, especially this year. Since I got to like watch over a group of like younger people, I was able to see them like learn things that they haven't learned before and figure out things about like financial literacy, especially myself as well. Like we take this course and the course does change throughout the years. So it's like the kind of thing that I'm able to improve upon each year, not just like the same exact course every year. And it helped me with college, especially like we figure out how to write resumes, how to like apply a little bit, and that was really helpful. And about like we learned about food scarcities with different like we went to different farms and we went to a reservation and we had people come in and teach workshops. And at the end of the week, once everybody had their share, if there was an extra share, the youth themselves were able to take those extra vegetables home so that not only did they not go to waste, that they were able to enjoy the fruits of their own labor. And I did have people personally come up to me and like thank me, and that was really something special.
You have a minute.
Thank you. And I feel like this experience is something that's like not just for the kids that are privileged enough to experience it, but for everybody.
Thank you.
And I'm just gonna take a second to toot Evelyn's horn because I've seen her grow tremendously over these last couple of years that she's worked for us. And this year when she started applying for college, before I feel like it was like the first week of September, she wrote me the most professional email and said and asked me for a letter of recommendation for college. She's like, I don't need it for several months, but I want to make sure I have everything in well ahead of time. And I've just seen, you know, the ability to organize and prioritize really.
You taught her how to
well.
plant seeds. Literally.
Perfect analogy. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thanks so much.
Do you have any questions?
Hi, thank you. I'm curious, I saw in your application, you list 175 unduplicated city residents served. Can you help me better understand the breakdown of that number and where you got that from?
Definitely. So we have the 28 youth that we will hire over the summer and through the fall, but they're building garden beds and portable garden bags for people. So that includes the households that we're serving through the Build a Garden program. So this year we provided raised beds and garden bags to 20 different households, and that equals about it's 2.5 people generally per household that we're serving. So you multiply that out. So we have plans to expand, increase the number of home gardens that we're able to provide in the future.
I have a question. I noticed in your narrative, you said something about raised beds without lead poisoning, the fear of lead. Can you explain that to me as someone whose tomatoes won't grow?
Certainly. Well, you know, on the one hand, your tomatoes will grow in soil with lead, which is, you know, a good and a bad thing, I suppose.
Ever
but-
since the flood, they just turned black and it's
Do
just
they?
crazy. But I was curious
Yeah.
about the lead poisoning reference.
So, unfortunately, in older cities like Binghamton, where all of the houses pretty much were built before 1970 when lead paint was banned, we
Okay.
now have that lead paint has fallen off of our houses
Oh.
into our soil over the years. So we see a tremendous amount of lead contamination in our soils.
Interesting.
In Broome County, the high lead levels in children are 3 times the state average. That's a lot of times from indoor contamination in eating, getting lead paint ingested. But we have to be very concerned about people growing food at home safely. The best way to do that is in a raised bed with clean soil or to test your soil. And you can do that through UMass Amherst or Cornell University. we actually are starting to offer some free lead testing for people at home. So if we have an individual that's growing in ground, we can support them in it.
That's very good to know.
just-
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Thank-
so I recommend spending the $20 and getting your leads.
That's
tested.
awesome. Thank you.
Well,
Any other?
sorry.
No, go ahead.
For those homes you're assisting by providing those raised beds, do you give them some training on maximizing the raised bed so they actually get vegetables and fruits from it?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've created a guide that's provided to them, and we also have free workshops. So we'll hold 3 gardening 101 workshops every year. We also have a container gardening workshop specifically designed for people who are using the grow bags so that they can be successful. And we have all of those also recorded on our website and provide those to people in case they can't make in-person workshops.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions? Beb?
Amelia, just excited. When do we have the grand opening for your center?
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited too. We're anticipating June of this coming year. Yes, definitely.
Fantastic. I wish my mother were around. She would have loved you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Outreach Ministries is our next presenter. I think they're coming. Is that them coming?
Are they here?
Our outreach ministries here.
No.
Doesn't look like they're here. Okay. AVRE. This is confusing.
So this is actually printed on AVRE paper too. So my name is Mallory Evans. This is Ken Fernald. We are from
Mallory,
AVRE.
can we ask you to,
yep,
is the
sorry.
green light on?
Okay, is this good?
That's
Yeah.
better, because there are people in back that we want to hear you.
Okay. So I'm the Director of Development for AVRE. My name is Mallory Evans. This is our CEO, Ken Fernald, and Winnie, of course. Yes.
Winnie?
His boss, Winnie.
Winnie.
Hi, Winnie.
Not that we're not happy to see you, but Winnie is very welcome.
Oh, I know. She's the
Bonus.
star. of
She's the
show.
highlight of, yes. Okay.
AVRE has been serving the Binghamton area for nearly 100 years, creating opportunities for success and independence with people who are blind or visually impaired through vision rehabilitation and employment. Our 100,000 square foot facility houses an adaptive apartment designed to help blind and visually impaired individuals learn or relearn daily household tasks like cleaning and cooking. We have a store that sells various adaptive aids like watches, large print calendars. We also have an outdoor orientation and mobility area or white cane training area. Just
You can,
put
you
right
can
here.
push it down and make it more comfortable.
So we have an outdoor orientation and mobility or white cane training area. And we also have a manufacturing facility in which over 90% of our employees are legally blind. We manufacture high quality copy paper of various grades and sizes, including what you have here in front of you.
Nice.
We also manufacture manila file folders and military tarps. We offer kitting and assembly services. And we manufacture right angle abrasive discs. Our products are used locally as well as throughout the country. We have federal contracts with the US Census Bureau and the Defense Logistics Agency, as well as state contracts through NYSED and the New York State Preferred Source Program. And we sell our products locally to many different businesses and organizations, including to the city of Binghamton. Our vision rehabilitation services are offered free of charge to blind and visually impaired individuals of all ages throughout 9 counties of the Southern Tier. We have orientation and mobility training, vision rehabilitation therapy, low vision examinations, social casework, and employee placement services. All of our services are offered free of charge. We operate on a hybrid business model where our manufacturing profits directly fund our services. We do receive some reimbursement for our services through a contract with the New York State Commission for the Blind. However, it's only up to 40% of the cost of those services, which is why we rely on outside funding through grants and other fundraising efforts. We take immense pride in our building, and it's important for us to contribute to the downtown Binghamton landscape by keeping our facade as beautiful as the other buildings in the downtown area. We are keenly aware of our location as a gateway to the city in the historic district of Binghamton and in a highly visible and high traffic area. We're requesting funding to repair and improve our outdoor facade. These repairs would not only improve the aesthetic of our building, but will also prevent damage caused by water penetration, which could lead to more costly repairs in the future. We received a quote from KHM, a local company in Binghamton, who we have an established relationship with. It includes outdoor pressure washing and painting, including masonry primer and super paint to all of the surfaces. It also includes masonry repair and patching. This is on a unit cost basis of $60 per square foot. The price where we were given before the unit cost of the masonry repair and patching was almost $130,000. But as you can see from the photos, there are quite a few areas of the building that really do need that repair and patching, which is bringing our total to an anticipated $175,000.
You have 1 minute.
That's it. Do you
Are
have
there-
anything to add, Ken?
The one thing I'll just add that Mallory mentioned, that we do serve 9 counties in our region, Southern Tier. Our services are primarily itinerant, so our staff are getting in vehicles, driving sometimes up to 2 hours to provide the services that Mallory described. So it's a lot of work that goes out there. It's a lot of expense, and when we're only reimbursed at about 40% of the cost, capital improvements like we're discussing are very difficult to do out of operating capital.
Thank you. Any questions?
I just have one. So just so I understand correctly, the funding is just for this capital improvement at this point, right? Okay. And that's, the reimbursement for the other services doesn't allow you to do something this major. Yeah, which I know is difficult.
So if you are not given all of it, what would you do?
If we're
We would attempt to do as much as we can with the portion that was provided. We'd look elsewhere for additional funding as well to make sure we could complete the entire project.
Understood. Thank you very much.
It's the former Sears building, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Brandy?
You said so you have people working there?
Yes, yeah, we employ, we have a manufacturing facility that it has like 50 or so employees, 50 to 60 employees.
And
Yeah, 90% of those employees are legally blind. And then we also have vision rehabilitation therapists and administrative staff as well.
I did not know that. I always go to the library. I didn't know what that building was.
Well, please stop by. We'll give you a tour.
I will. Do you do copies?
We don't do cup. We're actually manufacturing the paper. We start with a large roll paper, 2 large rolls, and then a machine that weigh about 3,000 pounds. That operation is very sophisticated. We invested a number of years ago in new equipment. And we built into the equipment adaptive technology to allow our employees who are blind or visually impaired to operate that production line 100% blind labor. So, pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Strong-
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And people who are blind, just for your information, or have other significant disabilities are typically about 70% not working, people of working age. So it's a very disadvantaged.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? They are,
Yeah, people who are blind or have significant disabilities, 70% are not working. So that's what our mission is to create that opportunity.
oh,
We're a
thank you.
federal, state, and commercial contractor.
Thank you.
Really nice.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Winnie.
Thank you.
She's a patient soul. She's wonderful. Our next presenter is the Discovery Center.
I know, I want to take them home.
Amazing.
You're so crazy.
Okay, thank you. You did.
You did.
Oh, this is nice.
We have birthday party there.
Was it good? Oh, this is very-
Yes, it's very nice. It's
Oh.
simple. They can play and go home.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Good evening. I'm Brenda Myers. I'm the very proud Executive Director of the Discovery Center. I hope that you all have had the opportunity to come and play and enjoy our indoor-outdoor exhibits. You know, the museum is getting ready for its 40th birthday, 2024. And our goal, of course, is to think about the next 40. And so the proposal we have in front of you is a capital project that we're very excited about. We have a home in Ross Park, and you may be familiar that in the last 3 years, we have been redoing the carousel there, and it's scheduled to come back in July. It needs to be moved to a new location in the park that is out of the floodplain. And so we're having to remove the playground that's in the park currently because that's where the carousel will be relocated. This creates a very good opportunity for our story garden because the story garden is full, wonderful exhibits for children, but no playground on the facility. We spend our time ensuring that children have the opportunity to be outdoors, to build social emotional skills, language, and their physical skills as well. And a playground is critical to that success. So as we've been working with Parks and Recreation and with our Discovery Center board, we all would like to have a new playground in Ross Park. Now, our whole area of the Story Garden and the exhibits is free to the public, and this new playground will become another one of those attributes. We also have preschool, Binghamton's UPK program, an extensive summer camp program, and an after-school program for Binghamton City Schools. Children use all of the indoor and outdoor exhibits. So there's an opportunity now because we do have, and I gave you a little bit of a packet so that you could see the entrance to our story garden. I hope you've been there. And outside, at the end of our story garden, we have this beautiful area that's police car, where we have a police car for children to play in from one of our fallen officers in Johnson City. But right next to that is a bit of a dark and dingy area. When you come into the park, it's a basketball court that's part of the city park. It's an adult basketball court, not something that our children can really play on. And, you know, we do tailor our services kind of birth to 12, right? The kind of prime age for children to be engaging in play at the Discovery Center. And so in working with Parks and Recreation, we were talking about the loss of the playground and the needs of our children. And we generated the idea that we'd like to turn the basketball court into a playground area for Ross Park. and it would become an extension of the Story Garden where we would continue to expand the exhibits around it. Now, because we are dedicated to play, we wanted to think about something that would generate imagination, creativity. I lead the studies on how children build interaction, both with caregivers and with other children, critical to their social emotional skills. So we've been working with a committee to look at our design. And what we'd like to do is foster the idea that the area has a treasure map that you can follow to a beautiful pirate ship. Because again, it's not just a playground, right? It's something that elicits play and opportunity. In our proposal to you, one of the things that we're asking for from the city is to specifically think about this very important area to keep our children safe. And there are two elements of this playground. One is called the fall zone. What can we do to have what's called poured in place so that if children were to come off the playground, they would have a safe landing? This would be a permanent structure. It'd be a permanent base, but it's very expensive, as you can see from the quotes that we gave you. So in addition to that, this is right next to a roadway. So we've also given you a quote for the fencing. So this is a multi-tiered project. It's going to take multiple funders to put our dream together of over $100,000 for this new playground. But we're asking for the support here for the capital construction so that we have safe ground that's very durable and that we have fencing to protect our children.
You have
Those
1
were the
minute.
two things that we put into the proposal for you. We are currently working with our foundation and the Decker Foundation to look at the opportunities. We're also put in some grants for getting some shared funding, and we plan to use this as a community build project, which keeps the installation costs down. Any questions?
Randy?
You said you have an after-school program?
We do.
Who are the children?
We have over 40 children, ages 5 to 12, who are bused from Binghamton to the Discovery Center each day.
Is it from a specific school?
It's from 5 elementary schools that come up because they are bused up and they bring the children together on the buses. And some of our children are DSS and some of our children are self-pay.
Oh, so some of it is free and some of it is not, or?
Correct.
Oh, what is the cost for the after-school program?
You're going to ask me to, I'm not positive.
Oh,
Sorry. I don't have
okay.
I don't have the quote off my top of my head.
Okay. I'm asking because I went to the Discovery Center this summer. I've never been there before. I've lived in Binghamton since 2009. I don't have any little children, and I absolutely loved it. It's just so far. I'm just saying that.
The hill.
Yeah, depends on where you're coming from in Binghamton, though.
Yeah, the Ross Park facility, you know, we've worked hard with the zoo, our new trails project, the carousel. We hope to make it a destination so it's worth the travel. And we continue to work on those bus routes to make it more accessible to our families as well.
Okay.
We are also a museum for all. This is a national project. Any family with an EBT card has admission for $3. And we also have every Friday and every first Friday and third Friday free from 4 to 7 to all of our families.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
I actually have a question. It's an administrative question. Have you ever done a survey of people that use, or even a sample study of the demographics of the people that utilize your playground or the center itself or anything like that?
The demographic studies we use are based on the children that are enrolled in our programs.
Okay.
So we have about 160 children that are permanently enrolled.
Okay.
And we have all the demographic information there. Typical customers walking in, we do not ask that information.
Okay. Do you know of the records you do you know if 51% or higher of your clients are low or considered lower income?
Yes, they are.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I had one quick question, and I'd also like to have
Oh,
a.
sorry,
brochure,
Deb.
Please. You've worked with the junior league in the past. Is there any intent of having them work on this particular project? And is there a way for them to participate to maybe bring down our portion of the ask?
So the Junior League is a critical partner to the Discovery Center. They've just decorated our tree, Christmas tree in the lobby. In addition to that, they've also just made a donation we're redoing the banners on Morgan Road that say Discovery Center and getting ready for the 40th birthday. So they do typically fund with small projects. The second thing they do is they would be a volunteer on our community project. So we're really keeping the cost down on the installation, development, and maintenance so that we don't have to put that into the budget. But the cost for the safety environment, we still are going to need those resources.
Thank you very much. Our next presenter is the long-suffering First Ward Action Council.
Long suffering.
She's been here since 6
Oh.
o'clock.
Oh. Thank you for coming on time.
We appreciate your patience. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
My name's Hannah Allen, and I work for the First Ward Action Council. I started there.
As close as you can, Hannah. I know it's kind of annoying.
Is that
but-
better?
Yeah,
Sorry.
because they need to hear you in the back.
My name's Hannah Allen. I work for the First Ward Action Council. I started there about 5 years ago. Started as the receptionist and then moved into the senior home repair program. That was started about 20 years ago. With the philosophy that sometimes small things can make a big difference. The First Ward Action Council employs skilled staff to help improve the homes of seniors that are necessary to keep the homeowners in their home versus having to uproot their lives and go live with family members or possibly even go to nursing homes. This program helps with modifications and repairs for those seniors to live more comfortably in their homes and making the seniors' homes safer and more accessible. That includes reducing falls, preventing accidents, and increasing independence among our seniors. The program is for any senior that is 55 and older, that is income eligible and owns a single family household or single family dwelling, I'm sorry. Projects include rebuilding stairs, installing hand railings, grab bars in their showers, adding door locks, and any other countless repairs that they may have. This program is extremely viable to our seniors. You know, you have a lot of contractors who come in and they see a senior and think, hey, let me take their money because they're not going to know any better and they have no other choice. Meanwhile, what we do is we pay for the labor and all the client has to do is pay for the material. With, you know, the 85,000 that helps keep us get skilled employees, helps us get contractors that are that will help our skilled employees be able to do bigger repairs that they can't do. We also, you know, we can refer our clients to some of our grant programs that are bigger than what the city of Binghamton can't provide for. But what's nice is we have that, you know, home repair person go in and look through their house and say, hey, you know, you don't have a fire alarm. You need a fire alarm. Or, you know, your stairs are really dangerous. Let us help you fix it. You know, with the funding, this helps the senior feel like they're not just being pushed aside. They're going to be able to feel like they're comfortable in their own home. They're not going to be forced out. And, you know, even if there's a code violation that we can help with, we want to help them. You know, we started this and from my understanding, I've only been there a couple of years. It was small and now we've grown to over hundreds of thousands of repairs throughout Broome County. To me, coming from, you know, a medical background, I just love it because these seniors, they trust us. Time and time again, these seniors call us and say, hey, can you help us? We know that you guys will be there for us. And what's nice is, you know, we're not going to take advantage of them. We're going to help them. And in this day and age with COVID and with the price of everything, this is a way to kind of give back to our seniors and help them feel like we still care. Yeah, that's all I kind of
No, that's fine. Yeah, you did well. Are there questions? I just have a quick question. How do people find you?
So I actually have gone on the radio, and I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember his name, Bob, I believe.
Bob Joseph?
Bob Joseph, yes, sorry.
That's okay.
I've done talks at the senior center. We've done flyers. A lot of it is word of mouth. A lot of it is seniors that, again, have heard about us or have experienced us and, you know, will say to their family members, hey, call them, they'll help you out. And, you know, even if they aren't 55 and older, there might be another grant program that we run with, you know, the state that could possibly help them. But what's nice is our senior home repair person will go out and say, yes, this will help, versus just saying, no, we're not going to be able to help you. We try to find ways and try to do referrals to help these people that need the help.
Is there a waiting list?
There is not at the moment.
Okay, that's good to know.
I just want to add to that. We have included First Ward Action Council's contact information on the senior home repair program to the pamphlet that code enforcement is required to hand out at every call. So it is being passed around through code enforcement when they get called to places.
And I do have meetings set up with the health department to help, you know, kind of get them on our side. Well, not on our side, but help them, you know, understand what we can take on versus what we can't take on.
I would also like to invite you to the First Ward Neighborhood Watch sometime in the new year. You can come and talk to our group. That'd be cool too,
I would
since
love
you are
that.
First Ward Action Council.
I would love that.
Okay, that'd be cool. Any other questions?
Yes, I just want to say what a phenomenal program this is. And the more publicity that you folks can get, there's a new program on WBNG. That would be another great outreach. And Steve, I do have a correction to you. That pamphlet is not handed out at every code encounter.
For telling me that, I will have to have some words with some people tomorrow.
Please do so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks again for waiting. We're so
Oh,
sorry.
no problem. I had a babysitter, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
And our last is greater opportunities for Broome.
Good evening, everybody. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Kelly Robertson. I'm Deputy Director of Greater Opportunities for Broome and Shenango Incorporated. We have been the designated anti-poverty agency in Broome County since 1965. We have Head Start programs throughout Broome County, as well as an extensive supportive housing program for individuals of low incomes and those experiencing homelessness. In the last 14 years, Greater Opportunities has brought close to $15 million to the city of Binghamton and the renovation of existing dilapidated buildings to house the most vulnerable in our community, including those that are homeless or chronically homeless. We are asking for $106,000, $106,400, for a capital project that involves our parking lot at our main office building on 5 West State Street in Binghamton, New York. As you know, that site was previously next to the Kmart Plaza, across from the Quick Fill.
Okay. Is that the McDonald's there?
No, now the McDonald's is an empty lot, which we also own. That's 3 West. We're right next to where that McDonald's used to be. We're right across from the Quick Fill station. We have a red
Oh,
roof.
I work right there at the grocery store. I'm the general manager of the
Oh,
of the grocery store.
Yeah, we're right
neighbors.
across the street.
Okay.
Right across the street from the Quick Fill. We're low.
So it's like diagonal, right? From the Quickville, right there, that building, right?
Yeah, it
Okay.
sits low. We're like across the
Okay.
street from New York Pizza, like
Okay, I know
across
where
the
it's at.
alleyway. So
used to
that
be a
area
Burger King.
obviously was an old previous garbage area. Our site actually sits on the incinerator site. So the ground is very uneven and shifts constantly. So the front of our parking lot, the pictures don't really do it justice, but it's caving in. So when we park our agency vehicles or when client vehicles park there, it's on such a slope that sometimes if it's icy or whatever, the cars slide forward. Or if we have a very difficult time getting out of those spots. The only way to correct this issue is to kind of take up all the asphalt there, kind of regrade it in order to make that more level. I'm not sure if you can see by the pictures, but there's some large stones and cement blocks that we have put there over the years trying to prevent that corrosion and the asphalt from breaking apart. So because we have to we're going to put a retaining wall there, pull up the asphalt out, level it out, then put a retaining wall. And then the remainder of the S is to resurface the entirety of our parking lot at 5 West State Street.
Are there any questions? Seems like you do need the work. Wow.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
I just had a question about that. So, and I imagine and so you're going in and you're gonna regrade the surface and then go over top of it. You're not gonna actually dig up any of the thing that is underneath, right? Like any of the garbage, because you can't probably go down.
Oh, no, we
Okay.
wouldn't go down that
Okay.
far. We're just literally going to like
Over the
dig up
top.
the existing asphalt, put in more fill in order to like level it out, kind of regrade it, and then put up additional. We did a phase 1 environmental study of our 3 wet, which is the property right adjacent. There are no environmental or brown. The area is a brown field, but there's no contamination sites where we are at 5 West and 3 West State Street. We already had a phase 1 done for
Okay.
that because we were considering another project next door at the empty lot. So we've already had a phase 1. So there's not any contamination spots on those 2 properties. But no, we wouldn't be digging down that far. We're just looking to regrade it, put up a, retaining wall and resurface the existing pavement.
Okay.
Could you please send me a copy of that environmental review?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You too.
Do we have our representative from the Literacy Volunteers by any chance? No? Okay. Outreach Ministries? No. No? Okay. All right. Well, then we will look at our agenda, and what I'd like to have is a review of the minutes from the last meeting. And if there are no corrections, can we have a motion to accept the minutes? Deb,
I second.
are you,
No, I so motion.
oh, okay.
And I
you
s-
second?
and I second.
Okay, everybody in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Aye.
All right, well, then it looks like we're pretty much done for this evening. And that being the case, let's do our wrap up attendance, and then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
John Brunza, mayoral appointee.
Brandy Brown, District 3.
Justin McGregor, District 7, Secretary.
Kenya Middleton, Vice Chair, Mayor appointee.
Mary Ann Callahan, First District.
Jacob Kumpon, Council at Large.
Deborah Hogan, mayoral appointee.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Steve, our next meeting is? Our next meeting is in early December, and again, we are not unfortunately getting our reminder calls, so it is incumbent upon